Hello and welcome to Love's Revolution, the podcast where we shine a light on matters affecting many of us. I'm your host, Connell, and today we're talking about one of the most underappreciated and increasingly overburdened professions in the UK, nursing. Let's get into it. The NHS is often called the backbone of the UK, and nurses? There it's beating hard, but that heart is under strain. Nurses across the UK are facing a perfect storm: low pay, chronic understaffing, burnout, and a public health system stretched far too thin. Let's start with the elephant in the room: pay. The average starting salary for a newly qualified nurse in the NHS is just over £28,000. Now, you might think that sounds decent, but when you consider long shifts, often 12 hours or more, night work, weekend work, and the emotional toll, it's not enough. Add to that rising living costs, especially in major cities, and it's no surprise that many nurses are forced to take on second jobs, rely on food banks, or even leave the profession altogether. Now let's talk about staffing. According to the Royal College of Nursing, the NHS is short of tens of thousands of nurses. In many wards, a nurse might be responsible for 8 or more patients when the safe standard is closer to 4 or 5. That gap means less time for patients, more stress for nurses, and a greater risk of mistakes. It's not about nurses not caring. It's about a system that gives them too much to do with too little support. And the result? Burnout. And it's real. Emotional exhaustion, physical fatigue, a feeling that no matter how hard you work, it's never enough. Many nurses report going home in tears, unable to sleep, dreading the next shift. Mental health support is limited, and time off, even when urgently needed, can be hard to come by. And then there's the violence. Yes, violence. A 2023 NHS staff survey found that 1 in 7 nurses had experienced physical violence from patients or the public in the last 12 months. Abuse, whether verbal or physical, has become shockingly common, often fueled by frustration with wait times, understaffing, or mental health crisis. But nurses shouldn't be punching bags for a system that's breaking down. And finally, let's not forget the brain drain. Skilled nurses are leaving for Australia, Canada, the US, places where pay is higher, work-life balance is better, and staffing ratios are safer. Meanwhile, we're relying on international recruitments to plug the gaps. That's not sustainable. Nor is it fair on either UK nurses or the countries we're pulling talent from. So what's the solution? It starts with listening, giving nurses a seat at the table, paying them fairly, staffing their wards properly, protecting them from harm, valuing their expertise. Because nursing isn't just a job, it's a lifeline, one that far too many people in power take for granted. The truth is, you can't fix the NHS without fixing the nursing crisis, and if we don't act soon, the consequences won't just be felt by nurses, but they'll be felt by all of us. If you're a nurse listening today, thank you for your strength, your care, and your resilience, even when the system lets you down. And if you're not a nurse, take a moment to consider what it really means when we say frontline. It's not just a buzzword, it's a reality, one that deserves more than just applause. Thank you for joining me on Love's Revolution. I'm Connell. Stay safe, stay kind, And don't forget to advocate for those who advocate for us every single day. Until next time.